Hello, 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 everyone. I am your host, David Lilly, aka Pardonwell. Welcome to Pardonwell Live. We got a fantastic show for you this evening. We got all kinds of good stuff. But before we get started, you know the drill. Like and subscribe. Yeah, jabronis, guys. It is Sunday, 8:30. Just rocking it hard. Got a ton going on. The title of this episode is Three Eye Atlas Shrugged, and you're like, David. The Three Eye Atlas thing, that space object. I heard about that. What does that have to do with Ayn Rand and Atlas Shrugged? Well, absolutely nothing. Nothing. Today, a lot of our topics are we're going to talk about mixed messaging and how people are just all over the place. So I thought, well, why not? Why not just make it all over the place too? And to help me with mixed messaging and to mix up the messaging, I've got my co-host Alex Rainiello. Alex, what's going on, man?
Sir Mix-a-Lot over here. How you doing, brother?
Yeah, dude, we're gonna mix it up. That was my way of just being like, this is just thrown together. And so
That's what we do.
That is what we do. How's your week, dude?
Good, man. It was like African summer here this weekend, man. It was hot.
Real hot, way hotter, dude. I was mowing my again. Anybody watching? I live in the Northeast, upstate New York. I had to mow my grass this weekend in October. I was like, what is happening?
I thought we were done growing grass by October.
Yeah, we should have been. We should have been. I actually stopped mowing grass, put the lawnmower up like weeks ago. I was like, I'm good to go for now. And it kept getting taller. I was like, oh God, now I gotta mow it again. So I had to pull it. Anyway, instead of finding sweet topics and clips, I was mowing grass. So that's
what's the world come to?
That's right, dude. I figured we start off with some wild mixed messaging. I haven't brought this guy up on the show in a really long time, so I was pretty excited about this. But our old buddy Rusty Rockets, Russell Brand over in the UK, he was covering Keir Starmer talking about free speech. So I thought we'd watch this clip and see what the takeaway is. You cool with that?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's take a look.
This great party is proud of our flags. Yet if they're painted alongside graffiti telling a Chinese takeaway owner to go home, that's not pride, that's racism.
That's the problem. If you've got a flag and it's next to some graffiti telling a Chinese takeaway owner to go home, isn't it beautiful how they find the exact right dialectic point at which to alight? Like, who's done that? I'm assuming that's an actual example because they wouldn't have said it if it wasn't an actual example, right? Because that's what politicians do. You know that they're aware that their biggest problems are problems around migration. So he's going, these are the issues we have to address. Free speech, migration issue. There's millions of people in the streets of London patriotically marching. We have to somehow address those concerns while still deploying the idea that they might be racist, legitimising the idea that we have to infringe people's free speech while claiming we still care about free speech. Let's use this mad Chinese takeaway example. So what they do is they select only salient and useful information, and the information will always be deployed in order to legitimize control. That's always what they're doing.
All right, dude, I'm going to pause it real quick. Matter of fact, oh no, we'll leave it up here for a minute because I was like, mixed messaging. He is talking about mixed messaging, but that's like my 18th time to watch this clip because I was like, what in the hell is he saying? And so did you catch what was going on? I can't speak Cockney, man. It's so rough.
Well, I take a lot of these Western European immigration riots. I take them week by week because I think that the leadership there is taking them week by week. They're basically feeding fodder to the WEF puppets. They're trying to do this dance where they're trying to not ostracize the entire mob, the people that have been there for multiple generations, but they're also trying to continue to keep letting all the flood of immigrants in at the WEF's behest and Soros and the crew. So I think that talk is cheap. He's certainly been on the wrong side of this for a long time. I remember less than a year ago, he went up and had a kind of come to Jesus moment where he said, like, we were wrong about this. This was entirely. This mass migration was a complete failure of imagination. It was a test. It was basically a simulation we ran and we failed, and we owe that to the people. But now he's going to talk and basically put them out on Front Street and call them racist. So, it's all bullshit to me.
I agree. And I think it's obvious is he's trying to thread a needle between like, we are all about patriotism and we're all against racism. So if it's a flag next to go home, it's like the flag is fine, but don't put the racist thing because then it's racist and it's insinuate. And it's just it's another one of those, like, I've got to dance and toe this line to please everybody. How do I do it?
Yeah.
And then the messaging just gets kind of jumbled where you're like, okay, yeah, but okay, so what? So does the racist part make the flag right? Because that's kind of what we're getting at. And
Right.
dude, his whole digital. We didn't even talk about this. The work ID, the digital ID. I love the fact that every time that gets brought up, the majority of everything I see is like, nope, 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 nope. Mark of the beast. You got the crazy Christians going, mark of the beast, mark of the beast. And then you got all the tech guys being like, no, no, no. And I think personally, I think the digital ID thing is has a poison pill built into it already to the public because of COVID. What are your thoughts on that one?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I vividly remember when they were giving out the COVID cards that it had 4 slots because they were originally planning for 4 shots. It wasn't meant to stop at 2 or 3. Yeah, there's definitely an inherently built-in poison pill with the digital IDs. That seems to be the hill to die on. It has been, from the beginning, because they can track everything. They can basically what I understand is the mark of the beast will be the blockchain technology. Yeah. And however that gets rolled out through the digital ID is going to be kind of the hill to die on for most, patriotic or libertarian-minded people. So I think that's right for people to kind of keep their eye on the ball. And all the smoke and mirrors, the culture war stuff that divide people, that it always kind of circles back to that.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually agree with that 100%. I think, since Palantir is keeping brought up in the US, and it does seem like migration. Here's where the rabbit hole from my head goes, and it's very simple surface level. It would not surprise me if they're like, all right, we need digital IDs, but especially in America, it's going to be hard fought. But other places it might not. How do we ramp up and get this technology in everyone's pockets, get everyone signed up? Chaos. Immigrate a ton of people. We'll use it as the excuse to do so, and we'll get it ramped up. They tried with the COVID thing. You can tell, like, they were going digital card passports. They were going to go digital with it, but there was such a backlash.
Yep.
They're like, all right, we failed on the COVID, but the one thing we can do, every time a migrant kills someone in the streets, pump it. Pump that story. Pump it loud. Pump it big, so everyone thinks migrants. And dude, I love deportations. Absolutely. Let's go. Let's deport everybody. Deport me. Deport my ass to Costa Rica. I'm not from there, but it's whatever. Wait, what?
More expats.
Yeah, exactly. I don't, the digital ID thing, man. I just think it's not going to fly with anybody, and this is where it makes me nervous. The migration thing, it's not going to work. People are going to be like, no, we're not falling for it. So if they were like, all right, global sickness, global virus didn't work, mass migration and people killing people, oh, that's not working. They're still not want the digital IDs. What comes next, dude? What comes next?
And for them, they just the cars left the station with the controlling things through the internet. There's too many options, too many black markets, too much agorism inherently built through the networks that exist now with people. There's a lot of faith-based people that have found themselves over the last 3-4 years that there are parallel economies that have already been built so that digital IDs are not going to work. And people can go periods without letting the airlines fail to make a point to not travel. Like, that's not going to work.
Yeah, it's not. Again, it's not going to work. So they're going to try something else. And it is confused. Like, it's mixed messaging, even from me, where I'm like, yeah, deportations. If you're here legally, let's get you out. But as soon as like, well, the only way to make this work is everyone's got to sign up and be a digital. And but I'm also a Luddite. So I'm like, no, you're never gonna. I still watercolor with actual watercolors when I paint. And so it's like, you're never gonna get me. You're never gonna get me. I'll be in the woods. Again, I'll probably be deported. They'll be like, you don't have a digital ID. Get out of here. And so that'll probably end up happening.
Yeah.
We got another clip of mixed message. Well, see, this one I almost tempted not to, but it brings the Charlie thing back up because I don't want to spend too much time on this. But here's another example of mixed messaging, and I think this ties in together somehow. Actually, I'm not sure if it does. We're gonna watch it anyway, and this doesn't work with the topic, but we're gonna give it a shot. Oh man. Let's right here. Here we go. Old Chrissy Cuomo was on some little kid's podcast. This little kid, he's like a 10-year-old. Is that Brylan Holloway kid? I don't know. He's some little lefty with a podcast. Apparently everybody's got a podcast, and he's talking about Charlie Kirk. Let's check out this mixed messaging. This actually isn't mixed messaging, but check this out.
Charlie Kirk shouldn't have gotten shot. Obviously, that's terrible. He got like publicly executed. It was terrible. But at the same time, this is a dude who repeatedly said the Civil Rights Act shouldn't have been passed.
No, not at the same time. Two things.
Yeah.
You're about to make the AOC mistake.
All right, dude. Pausing it. Kudos for Chrissy Cuomo. Now, here's my theory, dude. Here's my theory before we go into this.
Control that.
Yes, but I think Dave Smith shook something loose in him. I think there's something. He's like, oh, he had a heel turn somewhere at any point. And if I was like, he heel turned at one point, I would guarantee it's the debate with Dave Smith. Did you watch that debate?
I did, but I think the heel turn came before when he got fired from CNN.
You think? No, dude. Maybe
Because
okay,
we're seeing the flowers of the evolution with like a Dave Smith moment or a Tucker moment. But I think those seeds were planted when he got fired.
Yeah. Okay. I think the seeds were planted, but they were massively tilled and waterboarded by Dave Smith in that debate. And here's why. So after the CNN thing, he went on PBD podcast, and I watched this episode specific. Matter of fact, I think I pulled clips from this episode where he was like, yeah, I got a bunch of the jabs, but what I have is long COVID. And they're like, well, don't you think it could be? He's like, no. And he just twisted everything. He just obfuscated all of the truth and just walked it away and just weaseled his way like he was still at CNN. What I think he did is he got fired from CNN and he thought he was going to be Tucker Carlson 2.0. And it flopped, dude, because he's so disingenuous. And then it didn't get hardcore exposed till he had that straight up truth come to Jesus moment where he's like, oh, with Dave. And he was like, oh, no, I never said that. And Dave's like, play the clip. Jamie, pull that up.
Yeah.
And they pulled it up with him saying it verbatim. He's like, what do you got now? And I think that truth light bomb dropped in his soul. And he was like, yeah, I might have to make some changes. That's where I think, but I think you're right. The CNN, him being fired from CNN was definitely the seeds dropped. And I think Dave went in there with a backhoe and just dug all of the dirt out. And with that, I mean, there's still a lot. He's still slimy as all get.
Oh, of course. Yeah. He's a clown.
But he would never have said this. Yeah, he is for real. They don't get any slimier. And I guarantee they all have nipple rings. I got this feeling if you're a Cuomo, you got nipple rings. I wish I had that picture just on hand, just to pull up of old Andrew Cuomo doing a press conference with his barbells poking through his shirt.
Yeah.
God, what a dude. This is the thing about 2020. It rocks my brain. If anybody's like, hey man, what radicalized you? All of 2020, every bit of them kneeling with the kente cloths in Congress, Andrew Cuomo with the barbell nipple rings, BLM riots, George Floyd, all of it, dude. It all blew my mind. The way people were ratting people out. Oh, dude, 2020 was a milestone for me, like a big one.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's continue. Oh, what you got?
Wasn't Kyle Rittenhouse 2020 or was that after?
Yeah, no, that was 2022, man.
That's right. Yeah. Shit,
that was
man.
another one, dude. There was so much going on that year.
The hits. God, all the hits.
Oh, all of them. And I'm just every once I'm like, oh my God, I totally forgot that thing happened. That's why I hate all these people.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I was a libertarian anarchist kind of before, but I was like, man, I don't know about that. And then 2020, I was like, oh no. This whole thing's cooked. It's all cooked.
It's gone too.
Going back to Chrissy. Here's what I appreciate this out of Chrissy Cuomo. Here's what he's got to say to this little 10-year-old.
Charlie Kirk never said the Civil Rights Act. I've studied this very deeply, and it's pretty simple. It'll take you 5 minutes. It's not what he.
All right.
How can you study it deeply if it takes 5 seconds?
I love this because I feel like this is a Chrissy Cuomo trademark. I've studied this very deeply. It's long COVID. You're like, oh, come on, dude. Yeah. He doesn't study nothing. If anything, he studies how he can sneak out of his basement without getting caught.
Gonna fuck like Fredo.
The phrase studies The Godfather. How do I not be this guy?
I've looked it up.
What he said was, Civil Rights Act, good. Needed it. Great.
No.
Was then used to inculcate DEI and do these other things by extension of that law that he was against, and that it should have never been used for those purposes. Not to help black people vote. That's he believed in. But to make it as an extension of a welfare program for blacks in every manifestation, that he was against.
Yep.
Now, I happen to disagree. I actually think it was necessary.
No, I've heard him make that argument.
He didn't say get rid of it.
I've heard.
All right, we're gonna pause on this part because I actually thought this wasn't mixed messaging on Charlie's part at all. I think he was pretty upfront about exactly what he believed. I still don't know how you can say that the civil rights thing. Yeah, I understand where he was coming from, and then him being like the DEI thing that came after that. I think we would, even without the civil rights, we would have probably spent. I think this is where my contrarian take comes from. I think the civil rights held off the DEI thing. And I think it was going to come regardless. I don't think we needed the civil rights for it to jump off of. If anything, it probably slowed it down because I think Martin Luther judged by the character and not by the color of the skin. I think when he said that, they're like, "Oh, we got to shoot him now." That's no good. Judging people individually by their character, take them out. Because I mean, obviously the DEI thing is the complete opposite of that.
I think. Yeah, well, I mean, this is a broader discussion for another night too, but I think that he was probably the most center of the movement for civil rights activism, but he was like the most controllable too. And you saw that at the end of his life. So they knew that they had dirt on him in different ways than they did with other people, from that period. So I think that he was the easiest they could control. If they knew that wave was inevitable and the DEI stuff was going to come behind it, that was the way that they were going to usher it in.
Yeah, no, you're 100% correct. Hey, one last thing on this Chrissy Cuomo.
Mm-hmm.
What's the deal with when you vote for the left, you have to sit like this? Why is that?
Because they snip your balls at the pound.
That's what it is. You nailed it. That is exactly.
No more cushion for Cuomo.
That is exactly what, dude. That is exactly.
His brother got the eye for eye treatment on that one too.
Oh man. Oh my god. Shit. Oh, dude. I kind of miss Andrew Cuomo. I wish he was in the news more.
It's nice when you have familiar faces for punching bags. I think that's to put it.
Yeah, dude. I think he should up the ante. He's like, look, you guys like this Mondani guy? I will come out shirtless with my nipple rings in, and it'll take all the Mondani votes. Just sweep them right up.
Yeah.
Let's go. What topic do you want to do? The 3-eye Atlas thing, or you want to do the Theo? Which way do we want to go with this?
Let's go Theo, and then we'll go 3-eye.
All right, mixed messaging. You're gonna have to fill me in a little bit on this. This is your topic. So I did some research. Okay, I did some research, and apparently he did his live taping at the Netflix, and a lot of people said he bombed. Like he was pretty off kilter. Now, what do you know about what's going on? Because I have a clip of him in his show talking about him not unaliving himself.
Yeah, so I kind of have the same information as you. I'm a casual fan of his, watching his podcast on occasion. I think he's a little too aloof for my taste. I think he has great guests, but he doesn't really dig into things. I think he kind of just enjoys the banter. So from my understanding is that prior and before and after Charlie Kirk was murdered, he had Candace on and a few other people that were prominent pro-Palestinian voices. And I think that the press from on high was coming after him. He's obviously been someone who's been very outspoken about his depression and getting sober and the clean lifestyle. That's kind of a calling card of his content. And I think that he kind of he ties it together in a fine bow with kind of that pro-life living for the moment, not, anti-suicide sentiment. And he really helps people work through that. So for him to change his tune under unusual circumstances before and after the taping, and having that moment where he was kind of deadpan, deer in headlights on camera saying that I am not suicidal, I promise you that, and then to switch his voice after the Netflix special recording. Lots of weird stuff going on, and I just think that he's too big a voice to ignore when something like that happens.
All right, now explain this to me. So I have a clip, and I think it's after the Netflix thing, and he's going back. So what happened at the net? So I saw a video where he was talking to the fans, I guess, at the show.
Yep.
And they were asking him like, "Hey man, what's going on?" He's like, "Hey man, it's been a rough month. Who knows? I might unalive myself." Or he made a small joke. I couldn't hear. I should have pulled that clip up. Actually, dude, I might even have that.
The audio was muddy, but that's what everybody parsed from the video.
Yeah. Okay. So they got the same thing from the video. Let me see if I got that thing. I don't think I do. Oh, I do. Hold up. All right. Let me pull this up real quick. Not that. Sorry, guys. How do I get out of here? Oh my God. What is going on? Here, I'll stop sharing this real quick. Oh, we're not even on that screen, are we? No, we're not. Okay. Sorry, I thought I was pulling up all the tabs I didn't want you to see. Oopsie. Here we go. All right, so this is what he said. I didn't want to spend a lot of time on this, so now I'm actually regretting bringing this up. Share screen. Here we go. Can you see that? Yeah. All right.
I don't know what to tell you about that, man. I'm having a long month. I'm trying not to take my own life.
Yeah, so he says, I don't know about that. I'm having a long month. I'm trying not to take my own life, is what he says. Try it again. Can you hear that? Let me turn it up.
Yeah. It's pretty clear.
I don't know what to tell you about that, man. I'm having a long month. I'm trying not to take my own life.
Yeah. Yeah, he said, I'm having a long month. I'm trying to take my own life. And then immediately after, people were just like, oh my God, something. And people, I don't know. I'm not that big of a fan of Theo. I just know he was on drugs and now he's trying to be off drugs.
Right.
He's not married or anything, is he?
No, he's single.
Yeah. That would help. That would help if he was in a stable relationship where he had a little bit more responsibility. That might help him out. All right, let's take a look at this clip real quick.
And there's people that would think like, oh, well, he failed, or who want to write up something that says he failed.
Okay, so I'm pretty sure this is after the Netflix where he bombed, quote unquote.
Something that says he failed, or make a meme. I saw one thing, it said bombs Netflix or whatever, taping or whatever. Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you, dude. But homie, I was fucking in that bitch, cuz you should have seen me, dog.
Does it not seem like he's trying not to cry? It totally seems to me that he's like
it's frat boy behavior when you're trying to divert your emotions.
Yeah. You can tell that. I think the glasses are so it it just derails from his teary.
You should have seen me. I'm in the ring, bro. And I failed so many times. You could write what you want, big dog. Write what you want. It wasn't perfect, man. I'll agree to that. I've gotten so used to times I have failed. It's okay. I eat failure for breakfast, but you fill me up with failure flakes over the years.
I think he's being genuine right here, man.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's being honest. I think he's like, yeah, I screwed up. I failed, but yeah, he goes on to talk about I've been doing comedy. I fail all the time. I failed. This is how I got here. I've had that exact monologue on this podcast. Where I've been like, guys, I screwed this up and I've been screwed, That's genuine, but you can tell that he doesn't like when people call that was a rough night for him, that Netflix special.
Yeah.
And I think what made it worse is he was like, oh my God, did I just set this up for the worst thing? Here we go.
I would never take my own life. I'm grateful to God for his grace in my life. I say stuff, right? You know that. If you've listened to this show before or seen anything, I say stuff. I would never take my own life. I would never take my own life. Okay? You hear that, Israel? I would never take.
All right, dude. Let's.
That's a jump cut, dude.
Yeah, it is.
Oh,
no, he put this out. This was him putting it out, man.
Crazy. It's hard.
He put it out.
Yeah.
It's all right. Here's funny, but it is also like, do you think he's legit? Now, this is where I know he's legit scared, man. Like he's legit scared. I don't think Israel cares about Theo Von, but their influencer, they're like, we don't have to take him out. We'll just take him off of TikTok.
No, I so disagree with you on that. I think that they are very. I think they're very worried about him. It's not him that they're worried about. It's the influencer culture, and they know that what something like him represents going on Rogan, going on these big spots. He's another cog in this podcast space that needs to be controlled or taken off the chessboard.
Okay, yeah, I agree. But if he is, yeah, you're right. Okay, I'm fine with that. All I'm saying is he is not doing well enough. Here's where I'll tell you. This is how I know he's telling the truth. It's because he's addressing his failures. Unlike the other controlled op, Chrissy Cuomo would never say what Theo's saying right now. Not the Israel thing. The I fail all the time. Say what you want. Doesn't matter.
Right.
That's controlled op. I do not think Theo
yeah
is controlled op, man.
No.
Yeah, I hope I like Theo. Dude, his interview with JD Vance was great. His interview with Trump was even better.
Mm-hmm.
I've always liked Theo. His comedy is okay. I mean, it's relatable for me because I'm from Southeast Texas, Southwest Louisiana.
Yeah.
And so that I'm like, yeah, I get it. I get what he's saying. It seems to get old. But it doesn't. I mean, it's just comedy. It's his own thing. We got Legacy Zach coming in saying Theo Von did not, I repeat, did not uninstall himself. I like the uninstall. Yeah, dude, I like how he put that out because now if something happens, this definitely isn't. Again, I think that's like I think people saying I did not. Who else did? McAfee said the same thing, didn't he?
Cernovich too.
Yeah, Cernovich was worried about
and
that.
He was a big pro-Israeli guy. He was there for the fake Epstein drop.
That's right.
So he really did a 180. If you get the Cernovich, I mean, he's as loyal APAC guy as you can get.
Yeah, dude. Oh man, we live in weird times. I always keep thinking I'm like we're gonna have a Sunday where it's like, hey, not a lot happened this week, and none of that's happened. Like
I just think
so much.
Yeah, I mean, obviously these things are going to inadvertently go back to Kirk in some aspects, but I just think that he opened a cascade for a lot of people to have their eyes open, because if anybody thought that he was a loyal trooper to Israel, I think that caught a lot of people by surprise that were in this influencer space.
Yeah, you know the other thing I didn't think about? His demographic, people who like Theo, are not. I think there are a ton of people who are like, I don't care what's going on over there. And then Theo's over here being like, hey, I do. And they're like, oh, maybe I should.
Right.
And so I think that's wild.
Yeah, because he presents himself as aloof and a little, half-hearted about things. But when it's time to lock in, he locks in. And I just think, he's got gravitas.
Good on him. So that was a little bit of mixed messaging we got out of Theo's. Keeping in line with the topics, I think we're doing pretty good. We are gonna get to. Let's do the AI Atlas thing. So I did a little bit of research. I pulled. Oh, hold on. We got a bunch of people coming in with comments. Let's read them real quick. I have receipts. A screenshot of an article he wrote of what it's like to.
So does Jim Norton, though.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Actually, that one's an easy one.
I don't think that's but I don't think to what was it? True Hype that wrote that?
No, that was Legacy Zach. True Hype's got we'll read in a minute. Yeah, Jim Norton talked about that. That's not Theo Von. Wait, maybe Theo Von did. Maybe. Anyway, True Hype, be prepared for all sorts of things, to not be slow or have some sort of normal. He's right about that, dude. I was like, there's so many topics I have tons of clips. I was like, we could fill this show easily.
Oh yeah, with these.
And there's just stuff going on left and right, dude. The government shutdown, the Hegseth, we got a bunch of clips, and I was like, man, the government shutdown would have been a whole episode itself. And now I'm like, do we even fit it in?
Yeah, we could do that next week or 2 weeks from now.
It'll probably be, dude. It doesn't. Here, let's fit it in real.
They're still
quick.
Getting paid, so fuck.
Yeah, you ready? Let's fit in the government shutdown real quick, Alex. Okay. Is the government actually shut down?
They're still getting paid, so of course not.
It's not shut down.
Yeah, they're just doing less harm.
Exactly. That's it. They're doing less harm and getting paid for it. That's the only thing. That's the only kind of taxes I want to pay. I will pay the government to stay home. Just stay home.
Yeah.
Stop showing up.
Just love your kids and stop trafficking others.
For real. Jesus. Is it so much to ask? What? Can you just not be Satan drug child traffickers? Just stop doing that Satan ritual spirit cooking things and stop trafficking children across the border.
Could you just stop committing crimes on ley lines, please?
Why is it always got to be the ley lines? Can you guys give Bohemian Rest just give it a rest? Give Bohemian Grove a rest. All right, so let's talk about this 3i Atlas. So I did some research. So apparently, and you're gonna have to correct me on this. So I didn't know anything about this because I wasn't on. These are not my channels, and so I had to do some research. But apparently, there is this. Even Elon tweeted about it, like this object coming in, and now people have all these theories about motherships and pieces coming with it. I have a clip where this guy talks about Project Bluebeam. Is that what's going down? Talk to me about that.
The people in our space closest to us in terms of kindred spirits, a lot of them are theorizing that this would be a Project Bluebeam type of moment for the current day.
Okay, so
the way they're going to use this.
Now, never before has it's the meme all over again where the aliens come down. It's like, hey, aren't you surprised we're aliens? And he's like smoking a cigarette. He's like, yeah, I mean, I got a lot going on. Like, that's how it feels, dude. That's exactly it. When you're like 3i Atlas, check this out. And I was like, dude, I don't even think it's gonna work. I don't think it's gonna work at all. But I mean, it's got the TikTok up. Now check out this clip because I thought this was interesting. This is one you sent me. Take a look because he mentions two things in here, and I was like, that was another one I heard about.
Please tell me all of you have seen the new released photos of 3i Atlas and the other spaceships that are currently right above. Not to mention the mothership that's parked right beside the moon and all little spaceships that are just flying around. Please tell me you've seen all of those, because I've kind of jumped off of alien talk for a little bit because of rapture talk taking over. But the new photos that have been released of 3i Atlas. Now, mind you, there's a lot of people out there putting
All right. I love the fact that he was like, I was on alien talk, but then I got taken up. He didn't say taken up, but he should have. Yeah. He's not bad at TikTok. He should have said, I got taken up by the rapture TikTok, because of the wordplay. I should write a script, so you should call me. And then he's like, but now I'm back as a 3i Atlas and the motherships. Dude, I looked up pictures of the photos that came out. Did you?
Yeah, I've seen some of them.
Okay, was it because all right, granted, Alex, you're better at the conspiracy theories than I am, because I'm like, yeah, I got a lot. I don't buy any of this, dude. I don't buy any. I think it's Project Bluebeam, and I think they're trying to roll it out because they're like, now that we own TikTok and we shut down any talk about foreign governments and foreign conflicts, throw out the Bluebeam. Yeah. They're like, rapture talk is over, so now we got to pivot to something else, dude. I'm not buying it. I wouldn't be surprised if there really wasn't anything at all. What are your thoughts?
Well, I think that there's some traction, there's some validity. I mean, we know what NASA stands for is never a straight answer. But I
like that.
Yeah, but I will say that this is the third now interstellar object with implications of extraterrestrial substance or material, implications that there is something beyond our solar system, our stratosphere. I never bought into the space stuff. It's completely been off my radar, figuratively and literally. I definitely believe more that this leans into the Project Bluebeam and more like end times rapture, the way that they're going to try to utilize this, whether it's the religious right or the loony left, they're going to find a way to weaponize what you see and hear in the sky. Now, we do have a few months. December, I think 3rd or the 10th, depending on which weekend it lands on, is when it's supposed to traverse and pass through, by the sun. I think in front of, what did they say, in front of the moon or in front of the sun?
I think it's the sun.
The sun, right? Yeah, that's what I read too. Yeah. So I think that with the proximity to Mars and its trajectory getting close to hitting the atmospheric shed of Mars, and then having that cover over, as it's passing by the sun, I just think it's going to make for a visual phenomenon that I think all sides are going to want to utilize for its benefit.
So do you think, basically, if I was a skeevy politician with all my other politician friends right and left at Bohemian Grove, we're like, hey, this thing is passing on when? December 10th, everybody write down. Get all of the skeevy stuff that you plan on doing, do it during this time, because TikTok is going to be wrapped up in this thing. Everybody got the things they were supposed to. You traffic all your kids during rapture talk? Okay, now pick the next big thing. Here's a picture. So this is one of the pictures that I did some research and I found. You ready for this? This is why I just don't believe anybody, here's a picture. That's the picture I got, man. All of them look like this, and I'm like,
right,
man, that's probably a smudge on the lens. I'm just joking. They're gonna start AI in anything they can. Let's cover one thing real quick because I got to get your opinion on this.
And for the record, for the people watching and listening at home too, the reason I wanted to plant this story in the consciousness is because it's not that we're jumping on the bandwagon at this time. It's because we're going to continue to cover this as the date gets nearer. But having some background information would be helpful for everyone.
Yeah, I think again, I think it's all right. So hypothetically, it's interdimensional. I'll say that.
Yep.
I don't know where you stand, so I'll give you my stance. I want to get your stance on aliens in general because we had never talked about this all the way back for as long as I can remember. And I think it was something that like my evangelical Pentecostal brain worked as a kid. Aliens are just interdimensional demons and angels. Like they were just like it's just angels and demons. And I was like, yeah, that tracks. That totally makes sense. And then if you read scripture and they're like, it has 7 different eyes floating around, it's like, okay, yeah. So it's either people saw aliens and they were like, well, that's an angel and demon.
Yeah.
But my take is no, it would definitely, if I saw an alien, I'd be like, oh, you're just a demon.
Now, when you say angels, are you referring to fallen angels from the Book of Enoch?
No, those would be I would put fallen angels in the categories of demons. I'm pretty my theology, half of it's based on horror movies.
Playing. It's the month for you.
Right, dude, it really is. Check out my Welcome to Camp Crystal Lake poster in the background. No, I do. So fallen angels would be demons. They would be the demons, and then I think angels are legit angels. So I'm under the belief, and I absolutely 100% believe there are angels and demons. I personally, we can go. This will be a long conversation because I think we're starting to see that a lot more nowadays, and that's a whole nother conversation to talk about. But what are your thoughts? Are there angels and demons, or are they aliens?
What do I think aliens are? Or what I think
do you think they exist? Do you think aliens exist? Do you think angels and demons exist?
Yeah, so just to shelf and put away our 3i Atlas conversation for a brief period.
We can bring it back in.
Well, I think we've set some groundwork for it to bring it back in the future. I just wanted to kind of put it out on the radar. Because my theories and my thoughts are still forming about 3i Atlas as I do more research, so I don't want to backtrack and misspeak. But from my understanding, at least from what I believe in my heart of hearts and my faith and under specific substances, having a fisheye lens perspective on this thing, I'm a huge proponent of Hollow Earth, and it's one that doesn't go because it kind of got co-opted by the Jesuits, so it's definitely taken its lumps compared to Flat Earth. But if you go and you read some of the early writings from back from the 70s, and you look at some of the stories, from people's perspective flying over Antarctica, Admiral Richard Byrd. I believe that aliens are just Hollow Earth entities. So they're versions of us that have been submerged down within the Earth.
Okay.
So they're advanced versions of us. They're giants. They're advanced, Neanderthals with kind of that Cro-Magnon hybridization. I just think there's a lot of questions to be answered, but I think that they come from the Earth. I don't think they're from outer space.
Do you think they're reptilian? Or they're more?
I think some of them are. Yeah. Yep.
I think
because we know we have the Greys, we have the Whites, we have the Nordics. There's plenty of different races of the species of aliens too. So
very cool. So where I take that is, so I like where you're at because I need this perspective. Aliens, Grace. I think I still think interdimensional beings. So they're not like outer space; they're interdimensional. Kind of like a multiverse situation where they're crossing different parallel universe. Except for I think there's just one other dimension outside of our dimension. So there's a 4th dimension, and I think that's the spiritual realm. And so anytime someone gets visited by an alien, so there was this movie that came out a long time ago called The 4th Kind. Did you ever watch the?
Yeah.
And I was specifically watching that movie, and I remembered like there was too much. It was strictly about aliens, but there was so much. I think what was it? The 4th Kind. I could be getting wrong, but there's so much intertwined. Where like, hey, this alien came and it was speaking to me, and I did some research, and they were speaking ancient Sumerian, and it showed up as an owl in my windowsill, and I was like, dude, all this is spiritual. These are all just demons.
Yeah.
Like, these aren't aliens, these are demons.
Yeah.
And I was like, why would an alien come down? Like, well, aliens came down and planted the Sumerians, and I was like, no, this sounds like demons to me. So I'm fully convinced that anytime like I was abducted by an alien or I saw an alien, I'm like, no, what you saw is an angel or a demon. Depending on what they were sticking in you is how you determine which one it is.
Yeah. Well, most broadly speaking, I just think as I get older, with the wisdom I've incurred over time or allocated, I think that the world's just a lot smaller than we imagine it. I think there's a lot less people than 8 billion. I don't buy that fucking number for a second.
Really?
Oh
my
no,
God, dude, we're gonna have so much fun.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I think it's over 8 billion. I think they're trying to hide the numbers.
All that to say, it kind of goes back to the truth is stranger than fiction type of mentality, where I think a lot of the answers are right under our feet. I think a lot of things have been buried over time with the floods and a lot of the mass migration patterns and just the history that's been covered in front of us. I think there's a lot more right here on Earth than there is other places that we have to theorize about.
Yeah, I'm actually with you on that. Matter of fact, if you were to give me two things, like, what are you more interested in, space or the Mariana Trench? I'd be like, oh, I want to go to the sea. Like, I'd much rather explore. Dude, what's under there? Who cares about space? We got this right here. Like, what's that about? And I like your Hollow Earth thing too.
And why is it they can only go 13 miles up and 13 miles down? They can't go any further.
Why is it got to be the number 13?
That too.
Heck on, dude.
And what's with Atlantis too? There's just there's so many things for another day.
I love it. Let's go. Speaking of, we do have another clip. Speaking of aliens, I did want to get to. So this is still on topic. I've got another alien thing. Hold on.
Love it.
Share screen. We got Ann Reid doing a conversation.
The smartest of the bunch.
Speaking of aliens, she looks like an alien. Like, if we were gonna talk about humanoids,
can you imagine getting a fucking degree from Harvard for watching movies? What a scumbag!
Oh my God, you're just jealous. You're just jealous. So here's the thing. I'm about to play you a clip, and one of the things I know we talk right and left. I talk right and left. Let me make this statement real quick because this has been a topic that's been coming up. We could probably spend a whole episode, but we're not gonna. A lot of people, and I do this a lot too. It's not right versus left. It's government versus you, which I agree with, except for I think it's right and left, and it's the government versus you. And the only reason, and people were talking like what we talked about, controlled opposition, the people in power want you fighting each other so they can get away with it, which is 100% correct. And I disagree. The problem is, I still disagree with half of the other side of the aisle, because at first I was like, well, they're just, people really aren't that crazy. Like, your normal Democrat lefty, they're just a normal person too. They just might have some differences, opinions, but their party, dude, their party is bonkers. The Republicans, same thing, dude. If you're a Republican, I feel bad for you because of Ted Cruz in general. Like, he's not a Republican. He's not any. They're all theater kids. They're all pretending. They're all friends.
Lindsey Graham. But
the difference between right and left are, it seems to me the right has a tendency to call out their own a lot more than the left does.
Yeah. Cannibalism.
And there's a lot of things about the right and the left where I'm like, so there is right versus left, because when Charlie got shot, and I saw a ton of people coming out, and these weren't paid influencers who were getting $70,000 a tweet. These were actual just people I knew coming out and being like, yeah, screw that guy. He deserved it. And I was like, oh my God. Okay, so maybe not this party. Maybe this party is kind of wonky. With that said, every right winger could shut up and just play this clip from Ann Reid. This needs to be an advertisement for Trump and for every presidential person going on, because everybody on the left loves this chick. Now listen to what she says, dude. She is gonna sing a melody to my soul. You ready for this one?
Bring it on.
Check this out.
Lay it to me.
Is that if you go back before the 20th century, there were no income taxes, there were no regulations on business. You could earn as much money as you want, leave 100% of it to your children with no.
Dude, what platform is this? I want in. I will vote for her right now. Dude, what is this?
So it's one of those things where even the dumbest on the blue team has like these epiphany moments where they get all the right steps. It's like, why is it this fucked up? Why is that fucked up? Why are we paying this program, this and that? But then their ultimate conclusion is like, we need more government or
Dude,
something completely off base.
You're not wrong. You ready for this? We're gonna continue. You're not
Yeah,
wrong.
go ahead, go ahead.
When I first watched this, I was like, oh my god, she's Chris Cuomoing it. Did Dave Smith debate her or something? Like, what happened? All right, here we go. Watch the rest of this.
Taxes, that's the world they want back. And to get it back, they need society to change. They need people to be less modern. They need people to want fewer things. Is that if you go back...
What?
So she wants us to go back to African dirt roads, dude.
No, she doesn't.
Fuck?
She's not saying that. She's saying all of these, this is what the right hand wants. And what they want is so bad because what they want means we're going to have to go back before 1913. She's like, all of that stuff that we've got since 1913, yeah, they want to get rid of that. Our DEI programs, all of our cool stuff, like our surveillance, the Patriot Act, wars, tons of foreign wars. They don't want that anymore. Can you believe? Hey, man, they don't want foreign wars. What is wrong with these people? They want to go back to before the 20th century. Dude, I hate doing this. We're going to listen to this again. So she thinks all the things she's saying are bad things, dude. She thinks they're bad.
It's amazing.
Dude, I can't.
It had me going.
No.
Yeah.
I think I just deleted it. I got so excited I freaking deleted it.
I got so trigger fingered.
I did. I was like, I'll play it again. Anyway, Ann Reid, an interdimensional being. That's how you know she's alien. She's like, here's all the right wingers. They want no tax. They want to make as much money. They don't want any regulations on business. Can you believe that?
It's a Christmas list. It's a Christmas list for everybody.
Dude, everybody should run that. Be like, the Democrats want more regulations on business. They want you to pay more taxes. They want to make sure you can't leave jack crap to your kids.
Right.
Because and they want to move forward in whatever dystopian nightmare this is. For a hot minute, Legacy Zach, there was a base Ann Reid for a hot minute. Dude, I got friggin' that was one of the coolest clips ever. I got so excited I deleted it off my tab.
It's funny because out of context, it looks like a great campaign speech for like a Libertarian Party rally gathering.
Dude, it really is.
Do you hate income taxes? Do you hate property taxes? Do you hate all this red tape? Come over here. But she's saying no. That's what they want to get rid of, and this
they want to go.
I have
back.
to propagandize you to believe that we can't live without things post 1913. It's like no. Everybody was thriving pre 1913. That's why they had the Chicago World's Fair and destroyed it in front of your eyes and showed you the destruction that could be done from on high.
Dude,
even in the Industrial Revolution,
before LBJ, dude, even the black community was thriving, dude.
Yeah.
They had a bomb Tulsa.
They had the lowest divorce rates. They had the lowest single motherhood rates of any major demographic.
Dude, we were doing so good, and that's all anybody really wants. Can we just go back before this? Before the friggin' Titanic sunk, with all of the people who are trying to stop the dystopian nightmare we live in now, sank to the bottom with Jack and Rose.
So
stupid.
Well, and real quick too. I mean, they're always talking about like these segregated, parallel economies, like in Atlanta, Hotlanta and fucking Detroit and stuff. It's like you had it pre New Deal, pre 63. I mean, like you can have it again if you guys stand the fuck up. Most of your businesses got closed during lockdowns, and you guys didn't say a goddamn word.
I just hope she keeps talking like this. She might be controlled op. She might be being paid by the Trump campaign. Like, here's what I need you to do. I need you to go on every talk show and podcast and tell them how awful the right wing are for wanting just to pass their money down to their kids. Make sure you make that sound bad.
Yeah. Everything you worked for that you have the judicious authority to make the decision for. We're going to take that right away from you. We're going to let the state get involved and take 40% of it. Go fuck yourselves. Dude, and the reason I don't have any faith that they are any kind of, red pill turning, in that party is because our version of like successful dissidents on our side is like Thomas Massey and Rand Paul. Theirs is like Ro Khanna and whoever the fuck else they want to put up there. Like not impressive people at all. Like it's apples to oranges.
Yeah, dude, I totally agree. I totally agree. We got True Hype coming in, and True Hype's done his research. He said Tulsa, aka Black Wall Street, was rebuilt, and integration was what actually killed it. I believe that 100%. I definitely think that's like I think anytime. Here's the thing: integration is fantastic when it's done naturally. Forced integration destroys everything. I did a whole podcast about the deportations thing. I was like, I understand these libertarians who want open borders. I understand that concept. But this isn't open borders. This is trafficking people in by the government. This isn't like, oh, we left the gate open on accident. So if you snuck over, I was like, this is totally different. It's the same with the drug war. I just got on a Spaces on Twitter talking and actually argued from a different side. Like, well, the war on drugs failed. And I was like, it absolutely failed you, but the war on drugs succeeded for the government because they were playing both hands. They're like, hey, we're going to lock up anybody who smokes crack and then bring in the crack. And you're like, come on. And so it's just a scheme, dude, just a complete scheme. And so I was like, yeah, anytime they do this forced integration, it's awful, dude. It makes people, it just doesn't do what it needs to do. Everything, if it was voluntary and grassroots, people would be fine. It's just the forced crap doesn't work.
I think a lot of things do start grassroots and then they infiltrate it.
Yeah, because they don't like what it does, because they don't want you to prosper. They want you weak, they want you feeble, and they want you scared.
They want you looking left and right, but not up.
Nailed it. Absolutely nailed it. We got another clip. I wanted to talk about this real quick. Let's skip ahead. Speaking of things that are weird, I did want to cover this because this I think is more important than any other clips. Let me share this real quick. There was
This would be a cap for the night.
Yeah, let's go with that. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's end it on this one. So you're gonna have to give me. I don't want. This sucks because it kind of opens up a whole nother can.
Leave on a cliffhanger. Fuck it.
Yeah, I agree. Let's do that. Who was Regina Santos Avalos? Texas Congresswoman Gonzalez aide dies after setting herself ablaze in Uvalde, dude. I'm gonna read this out, and you're gonna have to give me the spiel because I didn't go deep in this article. Regina Santos Avalos, 35, a regional district director, Rep. Tony Gonzalez office, was found engulfed in flames in Uvalde backyard on September 13th, according to firefighters and the Uvalde Leader News. Fire officials reported that she had doused herself in gasoline before igniting, and responders extinguished burning containers upon arrival. The Uvalde department confirmed that no foul play was suspected. Authorities have not clarified whether the blaze was deliberate, and Santos Avalos' family maintains it was an accident. And a relative told KSAT that her last words were, "I don't want to die." Jeez, that's rough.
Yeah.
I should have pre-read this. My bad. She was alone when the fire started, according to the home surveillance footage of investigators. Despite the urgent efforts, she succumbed to the injuries. Dude, this goes back to our conversation. Man, spiritual. That's why I'm like, aliens, schmalians, dude. We've got demons torturing people. Like, what is going on, dude? Tell me what you know about this. Or is it what I just read?
Well, yeah, I mean, they've really done a great job. This happened, I think, back on September 13th. It was right after the Charlie Kirk story. So it got buried in the news. It was
right after.
It got buried in the news because you had the 9/11 memorial and so on and so forth. You go into a long weekend. So from what I understand, she was a staffer in Uvalde. I think she was overseeing a big research facility that was going up in that area, in that district, something like a data center. And she was really in close contact with a lot of, the people related to tech that had a hand in orchestrating and making sure there was a seamless transition to get this thing built, get the budget passed. So I think it was similar to the rep in Minnesota that was killed on Tim Walz's time, on his dime, where she was the lone Democrat to push back against the spending bills to accommodate the mass immigration up there. But for her, I think she was just too hands-on with the tech that she knew too much. Now, again, I'm on speculation.
That's fine.
I'm just going off. Anybody can read the report online, but it seemed that they did a lot of cleanup duty to open and close this case really quick. And they did a great job of it, of course, because everybody was distracted with Charlie Kirk for a few weeks. But I think it's really interesting that it was in Uvalde, of all places, the place that, there
was that placed on a ley line?
Shooting. It's pretty close. Yeah. I know. It just, yeah. So you got that intersection of ley lines down in South Texas near Uvalde. But I remember they had Matthew McConaughey coming on for that presser and doing that big sob story in front of everybody during in the press room during the Biden administration after the Uvalde shooting. And he went back on the word from what the reports that he was hearing on the ground, which is they were literally blocking parents from coming into the building to save their children.
Dude, tell me that's not demonic.
Demonic possession.
Dude, that's the only thing I can think of, man. And I don't know, setting yourself on, like, there's multiple ways you can uninstall yourself, like Legacy calls it. That's like the harshest one.
That's the worst way to go out by far.
Like,
because your body's collapsing.
And like the guy who did it outside the center for Free Palestine, he's like, I'm going to free Palestine.
Aaron Bushnell.
All right, that's a show. This was in our backyard, dude. This wasn't for an audience.
And I want to know, I mean, there's a lot of questions to be answered. What kind of medications was she on or getting off of? What was her relationship to this congressman? Was there any foul play there with him? There's a lot of questions surrounding that. But I know that the meat and potatoes of it was that she was overseeing a very big deal that was going through with some research facility and had to do a lot with some of the tech overlords that are looking to expand the data centers.
We'll keep our eye on this.
We'll keep an eye on that story.
That's wild, dude. Freaking Uvalde. Dadgum, dude.
Of all places, yeah. It's amazing, man. It's like the Buffalo shooter. I mean, there's a great episode. I want to give a little bit of love to Charlie Robinson and Macroaggressions. He had Oli Demigard on, and he talked about color-coded revolutions and silent revolutions here domestically in America. And he talked about the strokes of genius that the positioning with the cameras and the corporate press will do to cover these mass trauma events. Color-coded, bikes, empty shoes, jackets, things in the background to signify the wink, wink, the nod, nod.
And it doesn't spread with all the things. Like I said, there's not a topic. Like, there's so many topics we could cover. The shootings going on, the riots in Portland, that stuff going on. Like, it's getting wild. And
but it's all part of the cathedral.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. There's a show. They're putting on a show for you. And I personally, I don't know exactly where we go from here. I just know there's never going to be a Sunday where, like, well, I guess we'll have to make something up. It's going to be wild. We got the Armed Gardener coming in, said this is great. Sincerely, thank you, Armed Gardener. I appreciate you joining in and hanging out with us. Go and like and subscribe because you're a jabroni. Go and share this with your friends, with your family, all those people. It's 8:30 Sunday nights live. We go wild. I was going to bring up the Pete Hegseth, basically, and tell you he went in front of all the generals and called them a bunch of fatties, big fat fatties. They need to get, which I agree with 100%. Now, do I think if you're a general and you're like 60, I don't know I don't think you're going to be doing 100 push-ups, but yeah, man, you get healthy body, healthy mind. I don't need anybody hovering their finger over a nuclear button when they're sloppy. If you're gonna press the nuke thing, at least be in shape when you do it. That's my point. Alex, tell everybody where they can find you this week, where they can look up you and keep track of all the stuff you got going on.
Yeah, man, thanks a lot. This is always a nice therapy session for me after a long weekend. Thanks for everybody tuning in tonight. I'm exclusively on Instagram.
We're gonna change that, dude.
AB. Yeah, I got it. I've left X completely I've purposely avoided up to this point to not join it because I know the floodgates that it's going to open to me. I already have enough on my plate, but I will be on there eventually, very soon. I promise. I have obligations to other people to join it. Right now, I'm on Instagram, AB Raniello. Check out my upcoming shows, other podcast spots, other cool stuff we're doing. So thank you,
dude,
guys.
it's all in the chat description links. You go there and click on those, guys. You can find me at Pardonwell Art on Twitter, and then you can go to pardonwell.com. Check out all the cool stuff I got going on there. And if you're like, hey, you know what, the one thing the show is missing is a tabletop RPG, don't you worry, I've got one of them too. Go to flintlockandfog.com. It's in the comments. Check that out. Your boy created a game and it's pretty awesome. We're doing streams. Go follow it on YouTube. That's all in the comment section too. Anyway, absolutely appreciate all of you guys watching and listening. Alex, this was a blast. We will be back here next Sunday. I assume it's going to be a wonky month for me, but that's the plan so far. Thanks everybody for joining. God bless.